All right, all right, all right. We are here, guys. The Pod About It crew is officially together. Oh, wait, let me give y'all a real round of applause. Hold on. I got a sound effect over here somewhere.
I was wondering where a round of applause was.
Yeah. Here we go. We all here. Here we are. Yeah, and then I tried to fade it out on the sneak tip. All right, y'all. Oh shit, I started it again. Okay, my bad. We here, y'all. The Pod About It crew is here. It's going to be our introductory podcast. So we are going to go around the room. We're going to introduce ourselves to everybody. This is going to be kind of like a remake, right? This is a remix. This is a remix of another podcast that existed some years ago, and a lot has changed since then. So we get to go over some of that stuff in this one. This is going to be take 2 of the remix podcast. So is this take 3?
This might be take 3.
This might be take 4.
Shoot, it might even be a reboot of a reboot.
Right. Like we recorded one of these for the new version of the old shit already, and now we here. But we here. It's cool. Yeah. All right. So you guys can see my name is in the bottom corner right here. It's Mike Andrews, 83. To my right is my man Duck. Beneath us is
so impressive.
Lady of the Pod About It crew, aka
Hey.
And down there in that corner is my guy G. Lane. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Good.
All right.
So happy to see everybody.
Yeah, man. This. I don't know the last time this happened. Honestly, the last time the four of us were sitting around on a mic at the same time, it's been a while. So
pre-pandemic.
Let's give the audience some backstory here. I want to start with AKA. How does it feel to be on a podcast with so much testosterone? And do you think this is the norm for podcasts now, for group podcasts?
Is this the norm for group podcasts? No, there's a lot of female podcasts out there, all female crew podcasts, and there's a lot of podcasts that have equal amounts of men and women. So I think it depends on what type of podcast you like to listen to.
And if you had to tell people
this is normal for me.
If you had to promote this podcast, and I know y'all don't, we're gonna work on that this time around. But if you had to promote this podcast,
I always
chill out. Don't get defensive. If you had to promote this podcast, what type of podcast would you tell people this is?
I would say that. Well, I don't know. We haven't actually done anything. I mean, I know we used to have a lot of laughs.
A whole lot of laughs is a better name than Pod About It.
Okay, go for that. Go for that. Yeah, I don't know. We have fun. We have fun. We talk about life.
Okay, so speaking of life, let's get right into your backstory, and then we'll go around the room.
My backstory?
Yeah. So just let everybody know who you are, what you are, where you're from, and just whatever you want people to know about you. And you don't have
my
to
actual name? Is that what we're saying?
No.
So for everyone who's watching this, who's wondering, I don't really know if anyone's watching this. I'm just regular black, and I'm saying that because you said tell people what I am.
And you did say that. I was like, what is she? I'm just race, like gender. What are we doing here?
It's a question that I get a lot.
Tell people what you are.
I am female and was born that way, and I am a daughter of two. There's my thing. Of two, just regular black parents. Does that? You want more?
I want some of your. All right. So there's your identity. I don't want that. Then there's your roles. Tell some of the people about your daily roles. You have
daily roles.
Yeah. So like my roles would be father, business owner, manager, things like that. Tell us your role.
Holy Ghost.
That's blasphemy, I think.
My roles. Okay, so I mean, I guess above all, I'm a mom. That's like first and foremost for me. That is literally my sun up to sundown, 24/7. She'll probably pop up here soon. I have a full-time job. I work for a major health network in my area, in their IT department. I am a wife, a new wife, we could say. I'm a stepmom. I am a sister, an auntie, and I own a business. I'm a businesswoman. Um,
Ooh,
that's it. I think those are all the current hats I wear.
All right, we're gonna go to G now.
Oh, and I have a and I work for Target because I like the discount. So I work there for 4 hours a week, so I get a discount because I shop
That's
there
crazy.
every day.
You don't go more than one time a week to work.
I work on Sunday mornings before the store opens, so I don't have to deal with customers, guests as they call them. And I literally hang the ad signs. If you go into Target and you see the little sticky papers on like the shelves, the little stickers, I hang those to say like the stuff that says what's on sale.
You
I
took
hang
some
those
slow
at
person's
Target
job.
so that I could actually
For a discount. For a discount.
actually it was a pregnant woman and they trained me to be her replacement. So
That's even worse. Job's supposed to be guaranteed for you
and
when you come back.
well, she decided not to come back, so it became my job.
She said they
So
trained her. What kind of training? Never mind. I ain't gonna
the
start with the joke.
pregnant lady trained me. I had 2 or 3 weeks with her before she went out on maternity leave, and it was also her part-time job because she was a full-time teacher somewhere, but this was pandemic times.
Took that
Um,
into account.
so whatever, she might still get it. She probably is still on maternity leave 2.5 years later, but
do it.
Nice. Okay. All right.
yeah,
All
I
right,
get
guys.
a good discount there, and that I think is it.
Yeah.
A good bit of background there, and you guys will find out more about us throughout this podcast journey. G, let's go to you next, man. Give us some of your roles and where you from also.
From Jersey. My life ain't as exciting as AKA's. Newly married and I'm father. That's pretty much it.
You got a job?
Yeah, been working for the state almost 10 years.
And tell us some of your interests, since you don't think that that's all you are. I don't like that. That's the box you got yourself in. I don't like that at all. Like, we gonna change your box. Matter of fact, here we gonna change your box right now. Boom, you in a new box now. All right. So tell us
Some of my interests.
your interests. Like, who are you as a person? If someone had to describe you, what would they say?
Comical. Just a big kid. I love to laugh. Just love to mess with people. I don't like really to take stuff serious. I always like to see the humor and stuff. Obviously, you got to take stuff serious sometimes, but more so my personality is just laid back. I like to mess with people, like to laugh, pretty much. My interest, I know you asked me about my interest. I love sports. Favorite teams are the Lakers, Packers, Lake Show. Let's get it done. I love sports, pretty much all kind of sports. I love fashion. I love sneakers. I'm always looking at sneakers. I love to play basketball. Just, I'm just all over the place. Really, they'll find out throughout the podcast. I'm gonna be talking about this. I'm gonna be talking about that. So try to run it down all in one shot is too much.
All right, Duck, you up, man. Letting people know. Obviously, you're a pet owner or you like puppets. I don't know what that was that just came across the screen. It was a fuzzy something. So if you got puppets over there, you can let us know. I mean, that's cool if you into that.
No, not a single puppet, not even for my kid. I'm a dog owner, just the one. I am a father. I'm in between jobs, so we're gonna classify that. And I'm the regular black brother of AKA, and another regular black son to our parents. And I got hella nieces. So that's always a fun time. We don't know what else. Sports, basketball, wrestling, not basketball. My goodness, football, wrestling. I watch basketball occasionally. I don't know what else. You asked him about interest. I feel like I should be getting into that. And I DoorDash right now because it's easy, convenient, and it is more lucrative than you would think. So
One day we're gonna have to ask you some questions about the DoorDash. I want to know some crazy stuff that's happened while you were door dashing.
I've been fortunate enough to avoid all the crazy. The craziest thing that's happened to me was like a week and a half ago. Lady gave a very generous, like, monetary tip, but then when I got there, it said hand it to me, right? So I was about to give her a call, turned around, she was standing there, gave me a pack of fruit juice as a part of the tip. Like she handed me a little 6-pack of fruit juice.
Was it actually so you are in the state that you live in is like are the dispensaries like legal for everybody out there? Maybe it was like special candy.
Mike, don't.
Hey, look.
Don't.
Hey, Mike. I don't know if
Listen,
you.
I didn't eat that. My daughter did. So we're gonna hope it was regular.
You let her eat candy that a stranger gave
Here's
you?
what
That's
happened.
what I was
Here's
getting
what
at.
happened.
I'm like,
Here's
I
what
don't
happened.
know if
I didn't let her.
y'all.
I didn't let her. This is what happened. I did let her. I put it in the cup holder. I put it in the cup holder and forgot about it. The plan was to throw it away as soon as I got home, but I threw it in the cup holder, forgot about it. When I picked her up on her birthday, it was literally the first thing she noticed when she got in the car. She just grabbed it. It was cracked open before I knew it. She was chewing on it. And now, Mike,
you didn't do the.
she had the munchies the entire time that I. And then when we got in the car for me to take her back, she passed out immediately. So now you got me wondering. Now you got me wondering.
I'm almost mad at you.
I was hoping she was on sugar high the whole time. But no, it's not legal. It's not legal in the state I live in. So like you would need
utterly shocked right now.
But AKA face though, yo. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Okay.
She good
right?
though. She good.
So before I had my own child, I was a bonus mom, right? But then even before that, I was an aunt. And I used to judge the shit out of people, right? But I never said anything. I never said anything out loud when I was judging people's parenting because I'm like, I don't have a kid of my own. I can't judge out loud. And now that I have a kid and I can judge out loud, I'd be like, you know what? Whatever works for you, right? I'd be judging, but whatever works for you. So, I mean, you know, if you get high with your kid, that's your thing. If you get high with your 2-year-old,
okay, so
that's your thing. We're gonna clarify the age for everyone here.
I was about to say,
you
in
get
fairness,
high with your 2-year-old.
not right now, but I anticipate that when she gets older in life, we'll be getting high regularly because her birthday is so close to 420. I think it's just a cool thing.
Oh, he started her early.
There's no guarantee she was actually high. She had the munchies this whole weekend. So
yeah, 500 milligram gummy. For a 2-year-old.
Okay, no, that was a week ago. Chill.
Hey, look, it's possible, Mike. Remember I called you and I was like, Mike, I think I'm high still. It was like 2 days later.
Yeah,
listen,
my
last none of y'all have ever had the epidural drugs, but I was high for a very long time.
I definitely
for a very long time.
I definitely had a cookie, an edible once that I had to wake up early the next morning. Since I've lived out here, had to drive my car to a AAA that they've since opened a closer one, but this one was like 50 minutes away. I was high the entire drive and for the next like 2 hours wandering around before they told me they were going to need to keep my car for like 6 hours to do everything, the brakes and everything else. Yeah. I was just wandering around that area in November, cold as jacks, mad high, off my mind, just
mad high.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I said a little bit about myself. My titles are my roles are father, husband, older sibling, son, godfather to many, cousin, obviously. I don't know if I said that already, but even if I did, I should say it a bunch of times because there's a lot of them out there. And I'm related to 2 people here on the show. And yeah, so there's a lot of roles. There are a lot of roles. Interest would be sports, music. I don't think I'm much of a TV person, but then when I start talking about shows, people are like, oh, so you do watch a lot of shows. But I don't think I watch a lot of shows. So I never really know how to gauge it, you know. So we're gonna mention a lot of shows throughout this our time during these podcasts. We're gonna talk about music releases and things like that, sports and all. So let's just get to this topic here. I want to play this clip. There's a guy on Instagram.
Make sure you mirror it.
I'm gonna share it. His name is Chris GQ Perry, and he said something that I felt would be a fun topic, only if, AKA, could make it. So
And here I am.
I want to get to this now. Before I ask or play this, what were you sipping on just now?
Water.
Gin and juice.
It is Monday night. I'm drinking water.
Wait, what you like drink shaming? Because I got a little something in my cup.
I'm not drink shaming. I'm telling y'all that it's Monday night and AKA is drinking water. I've been nothing about what anybody else was drinking.
Okay.
In your games, I really need chapstick, y'all. Y'all gonna have to watch my red rose wall for a minute. I need chapstick. I'm gonna hear y'all though.
Blurred. You blurred the wall out. I was wondering why you blurred.
I didn't do it on purpose. I think I did it last time we were on.
Oh, okay.
But I also you could also in.
Oh, they're real.
Let me get. Yeah, this is a no. They're not real. They're not real.
No, but it's something like my background is a green screen. Yours is not a green screen.
No.
Is that something you use for your business?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
There we go. Okay.
Just bought it, but I don't have the whole thing.
Bought it? So you haven't used it yet, or have you?
I used it on Saturday. Y'all don't follow me on Instagram?
I do, but
I don't really be on Instagram like that.
No, I'm on it, but like the algorithm, what it feeds is crazy.
Turn on your post notifications. It'll tell you when I add stories, I think. But let me just grab the chat. I mean, I can hear y'all. I'm just grab the chapstick real quick. But
I only be seeing her stories half the time.
Well, I posted in her story.
I scroll through the timeline for about 10-15 minutes, and that's it for me on Instagram.
So, you probably don't follow my business page, but real quick, before you play that clip, I did balloons and marquee numbers and my flower wall at an adult prom. So there's an annual adult prom out here. This was the second year that they hired me. It was the second year that they had it. So it was really dope. So I do the decor for it.
How did you land that, if you don't mind me asking?
So this young lady found me on Facebook last year through my Facebook page for my business. And she hired me for that. And then her now fiance actually hired me last year for the same event to do a surprise proposal for her. Yeah. So I did 2 jobs in one last year. And then this year he reached back out to me and was like, hey, this is a vision. Can you get it done? And it took some time, but I got it done.
Can I hire you?
You can hire me, but you live kind of far. You live kind of far from me. There's going to be a travel fee.
That's fine. I'm all about supporting local and Black-owned businesses, especially family businesses. And one thing you will never hear me ask for.
So,
if she's traveling, is it really local?
I said, and I'm a woman, so boom.
Yeah, and you'll never hear me ask for a family discount either. That's one thing I wish.
And I don't give them.
I wish our community would do better with that. It seems like they think they know someone, so it's like, oh, where's the discount? Where's the discount? And my thing is, do you think Steve Jobs' friends go to Apple stores and say, can I get a discount?
Nope. Maybe one of them. You always got that one. You always got
I would.
He probably gives his real friends the product for free.
I don't think he does
real friends
now,
that end up at the stores.
Maybe back in the day. But
I was just about to say maybe not now because he's deceased.
He's been gone for a while too.
True.
So y'all couldn't just let me cook. Like y'all just had to be technical.
I was like, I understand that you was operating in the past tense, but I still was like,
All right, time for Chris Perry.
All right. Now, but by the way, I was very serious. My mother is turning 60 next year, and I would like to throw a big family bash for her.
Oh, if I'm invited, I actually wouldn't charge a travel fee. I would charge you for the work, but not the travel fee if I'm going anyway.
I would hope that you're there. I plan on making this as big as possible. So I'm currently looking for a venue.
My mom would be so unnecessarily jealous. I just can't.
I mean, we can't do a 60 for your mother anymore. I don't.
I know, and that's why she's about to be jealous.
Well,
right. We don't gotta talk about it. We can talk about it. We can talk about it next year.
If it makes you feel any better, my mom has been hinting at this for like 5 years now. She in fact, she just said, "Let me just tell you how blunt my mom is." She's so direct. She was like, "Mother's Day is coming up, and I just got a Pandora bracelet, so y'all can look around now." I don't even know what that means, but I'm assuming
charms.
For charms.
But how many charms can you put on the Pandora bracelet?
Depending on how big they are.
Yeah, you put a decent amount.
Whatever you want.
So
you can make it. You can make it a Pandora necklace if you want.
I would hope not. I wouldn't. I would get her one, and then don't get her. How many kids you got? Don't get her 4 now. Get her one, and then that way you can keep gifting her charms
She
That's what
want,
I do.
to all the upcoming
she
holidays.
want all her children, all y'all have siblings, all their spouses,
God
and
dang.
all her grandkids on that one bracelet.
So,
That's
so she gonna have a Mr. T bracelet.
Pretty much. Linda has one. She has 3 Pandora bracelets.
I never
She got.
liked Pandora bracelets.
I don't know.
I like
All right.
Alex
Well,
and Ani.
we'll get to that later. All right. So
Anyway, let's talk
let's
about
hear
this
from,
man.
let's hear from Mr. Chris real quick. Mr. Chris Perry. I'm gonna add him to the stream now. Can y'all see that? Is that
Yep.
good? All right. I'm gonna go on mute while I play the audio. I want y'all to hear this, and then let's discuss.
Aches and wasted time. Yes, she's in her masculine energy, and that's not going to change.
Oh, that's not from the beginning.
All right. Yeah, it's not at the beginning, so I'm gonna hit play and let it go back to the beginning, and then I'll take the mute off.
I'm reading this comment though. Let me see.
By herself, the less attractive men become, because she's now so independent that all she's worried about is taking care of her family and leveling up. To her, a man has no place in her life because he's not bringing anything to the table but headaches and wasted time. Yes, she's in her masculine energy, and that's not going to change until a real man steps up to the plate and takes some of that weight off her shoulders. The more bills a woman pays by herself, the less attractive men become, because she's now so independent that all she's worried about is taking care of her family and leveling up. To her, a man has no place in her life because he's not bringing anything to the table but headaches and wasted time. Yes, she's in her masculine energy, and that's not going to change until a real man steps up to the plate and takes some of that weight off her shoulders.
I saw this posted on one of our very independent relatives, an older relative. I saw this posted on her IG, and I'll tell y'all my reply afterwards. I want to go around the room and get y'all thoughts,
An
aka
independent older female relative. Who are you talking about?
that's what I'm trying to figure out.
We ain't got none of them. Who you talking about?
Well, okay, maybe I shouldn't use the word independent.
I would like for you to text me the name.
It's easy. It's the one I call cusses.
Yes, she INDEPENDENT
Yeah, I'm
is
sorry.
not her. It's not
All right,
her.
I said maybe I shouldn't have said independent, but she's been single for mad long, so I just qualified it.
Very long.
Is it
So-
bad that I don't know who we're talking about?
You absolutely well. She
He didn't catch what you said.
I heard what he said. I just don't recognize who you call that.
how do I don't want to put her name out
Female.
there. Our
No,
oldest
no.
female
Because
cousin.
I was gonna say because he can catch on to this. Older female relative cousin. He said older female relative cousin. That means
only
older
have
than
two.
him.
Actually,
Exactly.
I have three. I'm sorry.
And he's
Technically,
older
brother-
than him.
Okay.
All right.
That's actually who I thought of first. So okay.
So I want to know y'all thoughts on this, on what Chris was saying there. Let's start with the woman in the room. I want to get your opinions on this
So-
because,
Go ahead. You want my opinion because
well, first, how many bills in your house do you pay? If you don't mind me asking, if I'm going too personal, then let me know. I'll start by
How
saying before you say anything, I think my wife technically pays more bills in the house than I do.
how many bills in the house do I pay? I will say okay, I can't put a number on how many bills we pay. I can say that I pay 2/3 of the bills in the house. 2/3 of the actual bills in the house. I know that I pay that.
Okay.
When you say wait, is that the number of bills or like the monetary split?
He said
The monetary split, I can say.
Okay.
but he said the
So
more
here's
bills.
so we
Because
each,
yeah,
so
I'm about
we
to say
each,
he's
we each
referring to the
contribute.
number.
So we get paid the same week. We each contribute a certain amount of money, but the amount of money that I contribute is twice as much as what he contributes. So that's how I got the 2/3, right? 2 + 1, 3, right?
I got you.
2/3.
I got you.
Makes sense.
That's in the house though, and that is because of how our legal paychecks fall. Right.
You don't got to justify nothing to nobody.
So I'm not justifying anything. I'm just explaining how that makeup comes, right? So not that either of us do anything illegal, because we don't. We just have side hustles.
Mm-hmm.
Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But so when I initially listened to what he said, I was like, oh, you finna start some shit, right? And then I'm like, but why the way that he said it makes it sound like, and so the comment that was up on the screen, it was why I wanted to read it, because I had that same thought process, is men contribute more to a relationship than finances. And not speaking about my relationship specifically, but if you look at Black relationships as a whole, or relationships that Black men are in as a whole, that Black man is, I'm going to say, at least 7 or 8 times out of 10, not the moneymaker in that relationship. Like, Black women make proportionately more money than Black men, and then as do white women, and white men make proportionally more money than Black men do. So I get what he's saying, right? Like, if I could handle my own, then you better be bringing more to the table than money, right? Because I don't need your money. Or I can't take you seriously unless you can pay my bills. It's kind of like how he was saying it.
That's what he was saying.
I don't really agree with that. I don't need you to pay my bills. I can pay my own bills. And I think that also has to do with a lot of like life lessons from growing up, and like money management, things that I've learned in my adulthood. That for that. So like for me, I have always been able to take care of myself. Like,
Somebody has
even
to turn the game down in the background. I hear
not
like
me. I
advertising
don't have
trying to.
nothing. Oh, it's I've always paid my own. I've always made sure that I had money to like take care of extra things that I may have wanted or needed. Even like I've never needed my parents for that. Like post college, I've never needed my parents for those things. So I was never looking for that in a man. So that's just me. And then like now my whole thing is, as long as, if anything, God forbid, anything were to happen to my husband or between the two of us, my current mindset is I need to make sure that I make enough to support me and my child. And then if we have another kid, me and my children. So I don't know. I don't agree with him entirely. My husband
Okay.
provides so much more outside of finances, which is why I don't have a problem providing the finances.
Okay, fellas. Now, I want to hear from y'all. Do y'all think that he was maybe saying, not so much that it's just the money, but is that the only way men are needed in a relationship? Is financial support? Like, that's what I felt like he was getting at. But what do y'all think? Let's go with G first. Let's go with G.
I feel like that's what he was alluding to. That, hey, look, you got to come in, snatch some of this financial weight off her shoulders, and then whatever else you contribute that's not money, have at it. So I took that as hey, if I can't contribute to what she doing financially, then I'm not needed. Forget all the other loving, all the other attributes that I provide. Forget all of that. She's looking at, well, the way he was making it at whatever woman was, it's about money first, everything else after.
Okay.
And if I ever got a hint that a woman was all about money first, and whatever else you could bring that's non-money, then I'm like, she ain't for me. Because when stuff hit the fan, you God forbid, lose a job or whatever. Like, hey, your time is limited, bro.
Okay.
Had to point at me when you said lose a job. You went right in my direction. That's a shame. That's a shame, Jay. I'm messing with you.
In G's defense, the video is mirrored, so
right.
when you point to your left, it's really to the right and
Right.
So
And you got him in a new box.
that's true, because
So
otherwise he'd have pointed to the space over on the side. So
right.
you know what, G, I'm gonna put you back in your box just so that you have
Hey, it's better than what I thought you was gonna say. I'll put you back in.
Yo, as soon as it happened, as soon as he just made the motion, I was like, yo, he just did that, but because of where Mike got in position, he calling me out. That's
nah.
but that is the impression you get, right? That's what he's trying to say. The man is useless if you're not bringing money to the table. And unfortunately, that is what a lot of women project nowadays. It's unfortunate, but I won't say it's all women, but a lot of women are like, oh, if you can't pay my bills, if you can't do this, do that. It's like what AKA is saying is juxtaposed to what is out there, like the majority. So yeah.
Oh, real quick, I posed this question. I got it from the Boondocks cartoon, and I posed this question on Facebook some years ago when I had my.
Wait, are you about to change the subject?
No, still on. I asked the question to the ladies: what's worse, a boring man or a broke man? And mostly every woman said a boring man is the worst. Because they say, look, I could bring my own money to the table. I could help you if you're struggling. I can't help you if you're boring.
Yeah, if my husband was ugly or not funny, we wouldn't be married.
Wait. Is it both of those or just one or the other we're missing?
No, both. You can't be cute but have no no sense of humor. And then I don't care how funny you are, you can't be ugly.
I respect
I wanted cute kids. So
But it's funny because
now
I never would have called him cute, but my niece looks just like him, and I think she's adorable. So
adorable.
nah, that's not that. I'm not gonna let y'all play my man like that. Like he's an attractive guy.
He's cute, yeah.
I'm not. I wouldn't
You
say
can say
cute.
it. You can
I
say
didn't
it.
say he
No,
wasn't.
no.
I'm just saying I wouldn't have called him.
I'm saying I wouldn't say cute because I think that's like more of a childish term, like for
No, I get
more round people. And he's not. I don't think he's cute.
People.
He is a handsome. He's a good looking guy. He's a good looking guy.
Someone
but
said
y'all,
he's easy on the eyes. That's what they said.
there you go. But to the fellas, y'all sat here and interpreted what he meant. I want to know if y'all agree with how you interpreted what he said.
So my response to that is I've been in two situations where I was splitting bills, right? Both times I was paying more. The first time was wild because she actually made more than me, similar to what AKA was saying. The second time I was making more. My house, like all the burden should have fell on me. I actually told her like, yo, I'm not looking for you to pay anything here. Like this is all gonna fall on me, just in the event that anything happens. But she still insisted. So I don't necessarily know. Like it's crazy because that first one was much more in her masculine energy in the way she carried herself always, even though I was paying more. But I think it might have had something to do with the fact that she was making more, even though I was more responsible. So I don't know.
I never really had that problem. I asked my now wife when we first started dating, like, hey, look, if things begin to progress and we decide that, hey, we should, live together, like, how do you expect the bills to be split? And she's like, honestly, we can go half. Like, your bills are your bills, my bills are my bills, but then we have our bills, and that's how we do it.
Interesting.
What do you do, Mike?
What? I'm sorry.
What do you guys do?
I pay the big bills, and I'm talking car payment, mortgage, and then whatever she needs help. She does the little ones, but the little ones add up also. So she does the water bill.
They sure do.
She does the groceries. You know what I'm saying? She does the groceries, the water bill, the gas and electric. Like she does those bills, and she also does the life insurance. However, it's a hey babe, like can you send X, Y, or Z? I send that all. What?
I have a question. The big bills you said, mortgage, car note. She doesn't drive. Was there ever a discussion? Was there ever a discussion about her feeling like there might have been an obligation to contribute to the car note at all? I mean, it still transports her. So that's why I'm the type
of person where one, I buy for need, but I put all my needs into a category, right? So we have 4 children and we have a very large dog, right? So the cost of our vehicles have been going up significantly, right? When we first got together, we were driving around in a $20,000-$30,000 vehicle, right? And the payments were next to nothing. Right now, we're driving now seats 7 comfortably, and we can put the dog in the vehicle with us. But because of how rapid our dog is growing, our next vehicle is going to seat 9, right? So the next vehicle I'm getting is going to cost almost $100,000. That's my responsibility as a man. I have to make sure that I can provide and transport my family. That's not on her. I think that if I know that if I needed help, she wouldn't have a problem contributing, but I make more money than my wife. So maybe that's why I feel the way that I do. However, I'm going to actually show y'all my response to this video because I thought this dude was a clown. So I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not going to front, cousin. This is little dick energy to me. I was bagging women when I was broke. Security, protection, and the ability to make a woman feel confident go further than a wallet. I don't understand what this guy was saying. I don't get it at all.
He
Am I wrong?
honestly, he was just
speaking on
saying
the
it because it
majority.
sounded good. Because it
He was
sounded good for
speaking-
the gram. That's why he said it.
He was speaking on the majority of modern women today, unfortunately. And that's
Yeah,
what
to an extent.
That's what I was getting at earlier. That's
And
what they're looking. He was speaking to what they're looking for. As
She
the only,
actually-
as the only single one on this podcast, trust me.
She responded, and I want to know if y'all think her response was legit. She says, "You're a different breed than most, and that's she meant to say that's what makes it worth the fight." So I don't know. I don't understand.
When did somebody start fighting? What
No,
fight?
she's like, I guess she meant like worth like staying with somebody to fight to stay together. I don't know.
That's how I interpret it.
Yeah, I don't. That's another conversation. We can stick to the one at hand.
Yes, please. Like,
What? I'm
am I
quiet.
wrong? Like this sounds like an insecure guy
Or he
thinking
could
that
be
the only way
speaking
that he can
on.
get women is with money in his platform or his notoriety. And I think that's corny. I think that's wrong.
You know, so here's the thing, right? Is there are like the modern woman that we're talking about, right? They're saying speaking to the modern woman. Women are like women who are in their like 20s, 30s, 40s right now, right? Are very much in this space where they want to live a soft life, where they don't want to have to don't take care of all these things. They want someone who is going to be able to do those things so that they can spend their money on themselves, on self-care, on trips, on their friends and family, spoil their man with their money instead of having to use their money to pay their bills. And so I think he's speaking to that type of woman.
And that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So-
you're lucky if you find one that actually wants to spoil their man. Because most of it is just on them.
You know what though? I feel like all women want to spoil their man. I feel like women who carry the financial burden in the household, I don't call it a burden, who carry the finances in the household don't have the ability or the capacity to spoil their man as much as women who don't have to worry about those things. So you have a woman in the house who is responsible for keeping all the bills in check, for making sure that the bills are getting paid on time, even if they're not contributing the money, but they're the one who are physically logging into the accounts, remembering all the passwords, having to remember due dates and all that things, like keeping track of all that crap. That woman is spending more mental energy than the woman whose man actually just goes out and handles everything. Even if the woman's contributing all the money, but the man is making sure that the things get paid, he's spending the mental energy so the woman can focus on making the man okay. But if the woman is responsible for keeping track of everything and making sure things get paid and all that stuff, and then on top of that is the one who contributes majority of the finances, there's less capacity to be able to be like, oh, you know what, let me think about what special thing I can do for my man tonight, because that's not what's on the brain, that's not what's on the mind.
I get what you're saying, and it's
especially today, because there's so many women. So my situation, right? I work from home. That's the other thing. I work from home. So it's not like I'm a mom full time, but I send my kid off to daycare for 8 hours a day. I work full time and my toddler is home with me full time. We have actually only been separated in that way for like 6 or 7 weeks of her life, and she'll be 4 in July. I worked from home with her for the first first 7 months of her life. And then she went to daycare for 7 weeks and the pandemic hit. One of those 7 weeks we were on vacation, so it was really only like 6 weeks. Pandemic hit, and we've been home together since March 2020. And I'm spent. I am spent every day. Mental capacity is drained by 3 p.m. and my workday don't end until 4:30. So on top of that, I'm keeping schedules for myself, my husband, my daughter, my bonus daughter, like keeping track of family things, trying to keep track of our business that we have, technically my business, but he helps me with it so much on the weekends. Literally can't do it without him. Keeping track of different things that we want to do. So like my stepdaughter's cheer schedule is crazy. We was just in Costa Rica 2 weeks ago and we're going to Florida this weekend. And then in between all this, I have people hit me up for balloons all the time. I've got my daughter who's got some weird thing going on with her face. We got to go to a plastic surgeon in a couple weeks. Like all these things. I don't have or the capacity to think about what nice thing can I do for my husband.
See, and that's where I
My
feel
brain is spent. Even hopping on here with y'all tonight,
right.
y'all can see
Now,
y'all
now
can
we
see
get
when
why.
I'm
Now we get
wandering
why.
because my brain is a million miles a minute. Is that how the saying goes? That's where I'm at.
But that's when I feel inadequate as a man, right? Because the bills, I think I put out more money in the house, right? However, my wife is the one getting the breakfast on the table, packing lunches, when it's time for the competition dances and cheer and all that stuff. She's the one getting the girls' hair, makeup, and all that stuff done, right? Like, yeah, I drive and I'm there every step of the way. I might physically take them there, but she gets them prepared, right?
Right.
We share in the responsibility of checking homework and all that stuff. Like that's a shared responsibility. There's certain subjects my wife is like, not for me. You want me to read something? You want me to proofread, check spelling? I could do that. Math and all that, like, baby, you got that. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, so we have our own specialties here. Where I start to feel inadequate as a man is when I can't give her reprieve. When I see that she's mentally exhausted or physically exhausted and I can't provide a pause or a timeout in her schedule, that's when I feel less as a man. There's been
Right.
times where I'll be
And
like, hey,
so
babe, can you pay the babysitter this week? Because, I paid for the competition fees. And right after the competition fees were the regular dance fees for both of our daughters. So we have two daughters in dance and one of them is doing competition. Here, my dumbass was thinking that the competition fees would include the regular dance fees.
no,
Wrong.
they don't. No, they do not.
Wrong as fuck, by the
No,
way.
they do
Like,
not. Very, very
and
wrong.
she
Very,
only
very
goes
wrong.
to she only goes to class one day a week. However, it went from a 45-minute class for the dance class to a 3-hour. So they do them all together for the people that have them there. So I get it. And then I have another daughter who goes to ballet on another night. So when all that's happening and all that's going on, she's getting them ready. She's getting their hair done. She's so ahead of the curve. Like, when she leaves in the morning, the girls' ballet outfits are already on the bed and ready to go. She rushes home. One of them has to be to ballet at 4:30. She gets home. She gets off at 4 and does her hair. Make sure if she needs makeup, she's gone, and then I drive her there. Like, we waste no seconds in our schedule. So
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. And when I see her getting overwhelmed, that's when I start to feel inadequate as a man. I got to
Yeah.
find a way to give you a break.
And
And it's simple things, right? Like, hey, don't cook dinner tonight. Go rest. I'll order something. If I don't make it, I'll order something. You get what I'm saying? Like, I
yeah.
find little
And
ways
I
to do
will
stuff like
say, yeah, and I will say, like, I don't want to speak for my husband, but I will say, like, his job is very mentally and occasionally physically taxing. Because sometimes he has to beat up little kids. Like, that's just the reality of it. And then his old side hustle, he was
Did you say,
security at,
did you say beat up little kids?
I did.
Right.
I said beat up little kids.
Sometimes you gotta knock them
Teenagers.
down.
Let me say teenagers. He sometimes has to get rough with some teenagers. But his job is very mentally taxing because he focuses on keeping teenagers out of jail. Like, that's what his job is. And he's dealing with all these parents who have all types of problems, all types of issues, and are expecting him to raise their kids in the 11 weeks that he's associated with them, even though they've been raising them for the last 13 to 16 years and he's done jack squat. So his job's very mentally taxing. So he gets home and he's tired, but then he comes in and he picks up and he gives me a break because I have spent all day trying to do our moneymaker job and
Right. Right.
do and take care of the toddler. Um and then he comes in, he cleans up the messes that she's made during the day that I haven't been able to get to. He's making sure that we figure out a plan for dinner. Like we take turns with those things at night. He's making sure dishes are done, making sure laundry's done. With my bonus daughter, he handles everything. He makes sure like hygiene is on point, hair is on point, outfits are on point. Like he handles everything. I go and buy the stuff because that's a part of like the regular household lists and things. But in terms
Mhm.
of getting her up, getting her out the door, getting her to her destinations, he's there. He's on point. So he does do as much as I do. So it's not to say that like I'm exhausted and can't think of my man. He's exhausted and can't think of me either. We at the end of the night are like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. We can go to bed. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
We
not
want to
like
sleep together is the thing. Yeah.
it's this stage of adulting that we're in right now. Like
Right.
this is just where we are. And and I wanted to say about the guys thing, like yes, my paychecks are physically like are actually more than his, so I contribute more, but it's not like I'm doing something that I enjoy for my main job and he's doing something that he enjoys for his main job. So we just our bills are based off of the total money that we get. It's not about like I'm paying this because I make this. It's more of like this is what I'm able to contribute and this is what you're able to contribute. When we both can contribute more, we do. Um so I don't like what the guy said. I don't agree
Yeah.
with it.
I think it's
I don't
bullshit.
agree
Like,
with it. I think I don't agree with it because I'm not that type of female that he's speaking for.
right. So,
Right.
like for
So
example, real
I
quick, and
was
then hold on, Doug. Let me get this out before I forget, real quick. Right. So, for example, tonight, right, my wife said, "What are we doing after work?" She texted me this hours ago. This was before we decided we were actually going to be able to record. Okay,
Hmm.
and I said I might be doing a podcast because I knew I was going to mention it to you guys, right? But other than that, no plan. So she wanted to go to a store real quick, and that was going to be the jux of it, right? So once we ironed out we were going to start recording, she was like, "How long do you think the podcast is going to be?" I want to get in the bath, right? We just got the bathroom renovated. We got the nice little hot tub in there. Like, yes, run yourself a bubble bath and get in there and freaking relax, right? Like that's where we are. To me, that's her getaway. That's her break. The kids are in bed, well, except our son. Our son is, his bedtime's coming up in a little bit, but that's basically what it is. Like those little moments to me as a man, I feel like that's where I win. The fact that she can go in there, turn the hot tub on, run some bubbles, have some wine if she wants, whatever. Like listen to some music while she's in there and relax. That's to me the winning part of it all. So that I just think that I pay more bills. I'm the man. Nah, like that. Women can get money from niggas easily from people. I'm sorry. Let me not say that. Go ahead, Doug. I wouldn't want to cut you off. My apologies.
I've been holding
And
this
they
thought
can sell
for a
feet
while
pics.
because I guess just my experiences have been different, right? Because y'all are talking about how, you've got a woman like, AKA you're the woman keeping it all together basically for the family. And, Blizz is doing his thing to contribute. And Mike, same thing with you. And G, I assume it's the same with you. But in my case, like I said, that first one, all she did was the cooking. I was literally responsible for everything else. And I wanted to cook, but she made it seem like I was like choking a baby or something. Like it was the end of the world if I tried to cook with that one. With the last one, I was the better cook. So she would cook occasionally, but always wanted me to cook on top of handling everything else. You know what I mean? So I've never actually had the dynamic that y'all are talking about where you got somebody handling XYZ takes a lot off your plate, and you know what I mean, vice versa. I've never had that dynamic. So
Yeah.
and I think that's the common experience for modern dating because I'm still dating.
And what I wanted to say, Mike, like I love when our wives and their friends get together and go out for girls' night, and I come over and
Yes.
me and you hang out. Because my wife, she works in our HR department and she's getting the promotion. She's going to be doing so much more, and she was already mentally taxed. So now this job is just adding that much more. So I'll call her just to be like, "Hey, babe, did you take a break?" "Oh no, I didn't take a full break. I just took a 15-minute break." I'm like, "Babe, sometimes take it, a little bit longer, just, decompress." And, I'll ask her, "Babe, what do you want to eat?" She's like, "Well, it's whatever you want to eat." I'm like, "You know what? we'll order something, go home, relax. I'm always asking her, hey, because she's comfortable going in the room and watching TV. I'm in the living room. I'm like, babe, come out here, put on whatever you want, what you want me to get. I'll go pick the food up. There's times where she'll be cooking stuff and she'll be like, oh, I forgot to stop by the store and go get it. I'm like, all right, I'll put the game on pause, or hey, I'm gonna go get it. No, babe, no, I go. I'm like, stay there, do what you're doing, relax. I got it.
Yeah. And so talk about mentally taxing, right? And that's the other thing too. I think a big major factor in being a successful man in a real relationship is being able to leave work problems at the door. Don't bring them through the threshold, right? So I already, you guys know, well, AKA you might not know this, but I have I recently got promoted. It was last December. Okay. Since that time, I've had an assistant the entire time, right? So I could delegate some work to this guy. What happened? My promotion. I work for a big respiratory company, and we have 3 different offices throughout Pennsylvania and Delaware. All right. I'm in charge of all the routing, all the vehicles, so on and so forth for this company. But it's a living, breathing thing every single day. Routing. We have 22 different drivers, I think, right now, and I have to put together their scheduling. So the way I had it broken down was, hey, you're in this office down in Chester, Pennsylvania. You worry about the routing for just that office. I'll take care of the other 2, and the vehicle maintenance and all that stuff we'll work together on. We have a rotation that we were doing. They let him go last Monday. So as taxing as my job was, it got significantly more taxing. I say they let him go on Monday because he put in a 2 week. He put in a 2 weeks notice. He put in a 2 weeks notice, and his last day was supposed to be the 12th of this month. However, in corporate America, when you put in a 2 weeks notice and you have a job that can literally make or break the company, they don't want you to stay. They say, you know what, we accept your resignation effective immediately, and they just let him go. Because if you become mentally, well, you know what are they going to do? Fire me? As soon as that mindset sets in, your work drops off, and that affects the entire outcome of the company and the bottom line. So they said we accept it effective immediately, and they literally just let him go. He sent that email on a Friday night. Sunday, they told me, Mike, tell him don't come in. So I was like, all right, cool. No problem. There's only 2 people in the entire company that are over me. I report to one guy, and then there's the owner. There's nobody else over me in this company. So I asked them, are we planning on replacing his role? Should I be looking for another assistant? They were like, no. Nigga, what? Like, are you like for real? Like at all, or not right now? He was like, no, that's not in the near future. No. So I've been adjusting. So last week was my first full week doing everything on my own. Taxing as F. Like when I say changes are made, so I have a company phone, I have a company vehicle and all that. They took my company phone and connect. I also have an office that I work out of, and I have an extension. The workload increased so significant that the workload was so significantly increased that they took my landline in the office and somehow have it where after 2 or 3 rings, it transfers to my cell phone now. Like it's that much more significant. Like Duck, you and I have tried talking throughout the day. You know how many times I have to put you on hold, click over, or answer the other work phone or whatever.
I'm annoyed by your coworkers.
It is
yeah.
It is easily 5 times worse now. This last week has been seriously intense.
Today you didn't even answer. You were like, I can't talk. Right? It's too busy.
That's the first time
you text me. Yeah. Any other time you either answer or call back. Like you don't text and say I can't talk on the phone.
And that explains why.
Matter of fact, that's years. I don't think in the last
wait, y'all can't talk at the same time. Duck, finish what you were saying. Then
I was saying that's been years. I don't think in the last going back to when I was at Hertz over a decade ago. I don't think you've ever texted me and said I can't talk on the phone. We got to text.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What'd you say? That explains what?
That explains why you've been taking forever with your turns on the iMessage game. It was so long that I forgot about it. I'm like, oh snap, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So it's funny you say that. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's funny that you mentioned that your workload changed a week ago because my husband got a promotion. He got a promotion, I think 2 weeks ago now. I don't know. He started his new job when we were in Costa Rica. So we came back last week to whole week of like new job,
That's a
new
flex, by
craziness,
the way.
huh?
That's a
Yeah,
flex.
because
Like
his
that's a flex.
vacation,
Like
because his vacation pay was at his
yeah,
new rate, not his old.
I
His
like it.
PTO was at the new salary. No, so I laughed when you said that success as a man is being able to leave work at the door, because I literally tell my husband to bring work home. I'd be like, just leave work, just come home, just bring it home, just come home, because I would rather he be an extra body here to help me with that mangly toddler that we have than for me to be here by myself all day. And then and like with his job, he has to write papers and stuff sometimes. So sometimes we work on them together. He feeds me the information, I type really fast, and we get it done faster than he can get it done sometimes at work. Because his coworkers be in and out of his office asking him questions and stuff. And sometimes it's easier for him to be like, all right, I'm out after lunch. Call me on my work phone if you need me. If I just come home and finish up the work there.
Yeah, it's crazy. In fact,
But I work
payroll.
from home, so I don't mind him working from home.
I have a small example of just how different this is, right? So payroll is due. They tell us to have it done by Tuesday night, like at the close of business. I normally have my payroll done Monday morning, 7 a.m. This is the first time since I've been doing payroll I have not finished it yet. This is the first
Today.
time today.
And it's due tomorrow. It's due tomorrow.
It's due tomorrow. This is the first time that, as of this very moment, I still don't have payroll finished.
You're gonna have a late night.
Oh no,
You
fuck
better
that. I'm doing it
you
tomorrow.
better
So
get them people their money.
huh?
You better get them people their money.
No, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. But see, like, and that's kind of my point, right? Like the workload has increased so much. I'm not up to the deadline. I'll let other people tell their stories, but there's somebody that is very good at getting things done at the deadline, right? I'm not that guy. If you tell me I have a week to do something, I want to get it done in 3 or 4 days, and that way, if I need to improve on it, I can analyze it, make adjustments, and all that stuff. But worst case scenario, it's done, and I don't have to worry about it. I'd knock
I don't
payroll
know.
out.
I feel like I got so much job security that I'd be pushing past the deadlines. I'd be like,
I once
I'd be like,
thought I
if
had
it's
job
time
security too.
sensitive, get somebody else to do it.
Did you say you have job security too?
I said I once thought I had job security too.
Oh,
I be feeling like I love my director, and I just feel like if it's time sensitive, we're gonna get the new girl to do it because she like deadlines.
yeah,
Not me. I don't like
yeah, no.
deadlines.
And so that's
The
that.
only deadlines that I'm good at are the ones that I set for my business because it's making me money.
Yeah,
I'm out here making somebody else a bunch of money with my regular 9 to 5.
right.
So you go ahead, pay me my little coin every other week. I'm on salary, so you gonna give me what you give me. And y'all don't fire people without really, really just cause. And I get the work done.
Yeah.
But if it's time sensitive, get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I completely understand. So, listen, guys, this was a good talk. We can wrap this up if you want, unless
Hold on,
no,
no, I got one since we got all 4 of us here.
wait. Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say if there was another topic, but AKA, do you want to run or do you want to try to last one out?
Let me see how much water I got left because it's hot.
Well,
I'm getting thirsty.
This one is a light one, and I don't know when the next time we're going to see you. And we had a running joke.
I'm gonna try to come on next week. I was going to tell you guys that this night of the week might be better for me than the other night we originally thought. I was gonna text y'all that when we asked about it like a week or two ago. But last week wasn't good for me, and the week before that I wasn't in the country. So
Monday nights are always good for me as long as football.
Is that what today is?
Oh shit!
Dang.
Oh, I thought it was. I meant to say tomorrow night. I meant.
Wow.
I didn't know that was this night.
So my personal business.
I could do that. I could do this. I could do this night. I think I could try. It just depends
No.
on.
So this
It
is
depends
how
what we got
Monday
going
or
on.
Tuesday works for me, so I never have the baby.
That's what I was gonna say. So if we're gonna make a change, what I would like us to do is commit, and I'll make a change on my personal business because I normally my other personal business is focused around football, right? And so what I'm doing in recording, it's usually on Tuesday nights after Monday Night Football, Thursday nights before games or after, and then my shows throughout the weekend. if we're gonna make a change, I'm okay with it as long as we have it set before the kickoff of the NFL season. So that's where I am. We can still see you,
Right,
just so
because you
you
can
know.
adjust around that. You can put the game on while we record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just saying we can still see you. I don't know. Yeah, it looked like you clicked something and you put yourself on mute. I didn't know if you were trying to vanish. So, all right, G. So you're gonna present this, aka you got enough water to last one more quick 10, 15 minutes? We can't hear you because you put
We
yourself on mute.
You were still
Oh,
muted.
look at the baby. Okay.
I said I don't, but we gonna do it.
She's blurred. We can't. Oh, hi.
Wait, do I want you on camera?
Oh, she's so sleepy.
I haven't
She
even
looks
said her
like-
name because I don't even know.
Yeah, no, I don't.
She
it's
can't hear
okay.
y'all.
Oh, she
Oh,
You're
can't
in
yeah,
my
you got your
headphones.
earbuds in. Yeah. All right.
All right, so G, how about this? While she's saying goodnight, why don't you present your next topic, and we'll go from there.
All right. Since we got all four of us in the running joke on our last podcast was, did anybody get pulled over? We was all talking about, I think it was 1 week we all got pulled over. So my question to the
Wait. I saw her say not me. I can read lips. That's bullshit. You
I
used to
For
get
real.
pulled
I
over
forgot
all
about
the
that,
time.
but nah, this was years ago. AKA, there was a week where all of us got pulled
all of
over.
us got pulled over. So my question is,
I must not have got a ticket.
no, I don't think any of us got a ticket.
Ticket ain't the qualifier.
I didn't get a ticket.
If the lights came on and you pulled over on that shoulder, that's the qualifier.
But
So
this is going back years though. We talking 4
Yeah.
years.
I
yeah,
might be
it's
more.
been,
It might
it's
be
been
more
a
than
while.
that.
I got
Go
pulled
ahead, G.
over 2 years ago on New Year's Eve, 2020. No, 2021. I got pulled over. I made an illegal U-turn, but the cop was cool. He let me off. But my question is, what's the most pettiest reason you got pulled over, or something that you were just like, what? I didn't even know that was a thing. Something so small, you like, really, I can't believe you even exerted the energy to even pull me over.
I got my answer. If y'all want me to go first, I will. It looks like the other two are thinking. So, I was 18. I had my first car, and I was 18. And I probably looked like I was 15. Um, I went to a liquor store to buy ice for the guy I was working for. He sent me to the liquor store around the corner to buy ice. He was having a barbecue or something like that. I had a side job, a part-time job at a guy who ran a printing press out of his house, out of his garage. And he sent me around the corner. I was in Ewing. There's a liquor store right by this bowling alley called Curtis Lanes, which actually I hear they're closing down.
Really?
I think
Wow.
they were already closed.
They closed. Yeah. So there's a liquor store around the corner from there, and that guy lived across the street from there, like in the houses over there. And he sent me. He was like, "I need you to get some ice." He was like, "Just go to the liquor store. There's a Morazzo's there now, but it wasn't there at the time." And so I went to the liquor store. I came out with a couple of bags of ice. I put them in the back seat, and I pulled out of the parking lot. The issue is that an officer saw a young-looking kid with no facial hair. I didn't have hair, nothing like that, pulling out of a liquor store. He wanted to know, there's no way this kid, So he pulled me over, license, registration, insurance, whatever. I give him my information, and the first thing he asked me, because he didn't actually ask me for license, registration, insurance. The first thing he asked me was, "What are you doing pulling out of this parking lot?" I was like, "I just came in there from buying something." My dumbass, I was serious with what I was saying, not thinking that it was a liquor store. I just went in there to get ice. Like I wasn't thinking about, now depending on what state you're in right now when you're watching this, in New Jersey, liquor stores sell more than just liquor. It's not like it's like you in Jersey, you can get other things in a liquor store. In
Bags of
Pennsylvania,
chips, ice.
right. In liquor stores in Pennsylvania, in North Carolina, like they sell liquor.
That is it.
Like beer and stuff is in the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
right? But in New
Or
Jersey,
dedicated like beer warehouse or something. Yeah.
right, in New Jersey at that time it wasn't like that. So if you're in a liquor store, they were like, "Oh, you're in there." So he pulls me over and asked me what I was doing. And I said I was just buying something, and then I hand him my information. So he runs my information, it comes back clean, and he was like, "What'd you get while you were in there?" And I showed him the ice, and I was like, "It's gonna melt if we don't hurry up. Like, is everything okay? Like, what did I do?" He was like, "All right, well, I'll be right back." So this is after he ran my information. He hands me back my stuff. He walks back to his car, and he comes back with a ticket in his hand. He gave me a ticket for obstruction of view. And I said, "What's the obstruction?" I had my graduation tassel hanging from my rearview mirror. Strings, fucking confetti strings hanging from my rearview mirror. And he said it was an obstruction of view. And of course, I couldn't let it go. I'm like, "Bro, you have a laptop on your dashboard. You're telling me I got an obstruction of view with a graduation tassel? Like, they make air fresheners bigger than this to hang from the mirrors. Like, what are you talking about?" And well, if you don't like it, you can argue it in court. We'll see you there. That was easily the most petty thing I've been pulled. Well, that one, and I got pulled over one time for doing 45 in a 55. That was
Under
the
the
other one.
speed limit.
Yes. Well,
That
I
is
got a
petty.
speeding ticket. Let me be clear. He gave me a speeding ticket for doing 45 in a 55. It was pouring, and he said that I
Thank
passed him in
you.
the left lane doing 45 in a 55. He was like, "You didn't see my lights going like this? That means I'm setting a new speed limit." And what he was saying, it turns out what he was saying was actually right. In certain weather conditions and in times of natural disasters, officers can reset the speed limit on a given road, but they put on their lights a certain way. It's not just the twirling lights.
They
There's a
never
running.
discussed that in the MVC book.
I didn't remember it. I didn't know it was a thing. But
Me
when the officer
That was
gets
not a
in
topic in driver's ed.
when the officer gets in the right lane and puts that light on, he is setting the speed limit on the road at that very moment. I didn't know what he was doing. He was doing like 40, and it was coming down. And so I was like, "Fuck that! I'm out of here. I'm going to Trenton." I got past him, 45, and he turned on the real lights and pulled me over and gave me a speeding ticket for doing 45 and a 55. And he said for those conditions, I was unsafely operating my vehicle.
Because you was
And
doing
And that's
55 in the
crazy because you don't
54.
get to decide what's unsafe for me driving. Like I feel like I know me as a driver better than you do.
well, I
Personally.
mean, but and that
Well,
that was that.
you're
So
not
those
the
those
best.
were the two. Those were the two for me.
Maybe
For
not once
me,
upon a time, but bumping into.
it was when I was working at FedEx. I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, actually 3 o'clock in the morning, to get to the job at 4 o'clock. So I'm riding through Robbinsville. I already hated going through Robbinsville because I feel like Robbinsville and Lawrenceville will just pull you over just because the wind blew one direction too hard. So
I got arrested in Robbinsville, by the way. That's
Wow.
funny.
I have
so
two stories also for Robinson.
so the light changes. I stop. I see the cop right there across to the left of me. We're at an intersection. I stop. I see him. Light turns green. I go. So I see the cop. I'm already a little bit nervous because, black. Hey, black and police. Hey, that's all I got to say. Next thing you know, lights come on. I'm like, what now? I pull over. First thing he asks me, where you going? I'm like, I show him my FedEx ID. I'm on my way to work. He said, okay, well, did you know that I stopped you because your the front of your car stopped about this much over the white line? I'm like, what? And he was like, well, and also you were speeding. I'm like, I was doing 5 miles over the speed limit. Nobody does the speed limit on 130. He goes back in his car, comes back. So he's like, you'll admit to speed. I'm like, if 5 miles over the speed limit is speeding, then yes, officer, I was speeding. So he gives me a ticket, says, oh, your back license plate light is out. I was like, you know what? Whatever. I get to work. How about I don't even have lights on my license plate thing at all? So he just made up a straight lie on the spot.
What kind of car was you driving that didn't have a light to illuminate your plates?
I don't know. It was like a 2000
Was it
Chevy
the
Blazer.
Toyota?
Nah,
The Blazer. Oh, I remember the
yeah.
Blazer. I remember it. That was the gray
I
one. That
get
was the
out the
two-door
car, I'm
joint.
like, whatever, yo. Whatever.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, no, I got arrested in Robbinsville, and it was also being pulled over in torrential downpour again.
You're
And
good
they
for that.
pulled me over for doing. He said I was doing 42 and a 35. That's why they pulled me over. I gave him my information, and the next thing I know, I see a cop car pull in front of me, cop car behind me, cop car next to me. He gonna come up to the window. Can you get out? I'm like, fuck no. I seen this shit too many times on online. You got to tell me what's going on. He's like, sir, you have to get out the car. Long story short, I had a warrant out for a missed court case for another traffic fine. But I heard Duck say he had something for Robbinsville also. I'm gonna shut up. I want to know the most petty thing you were pulled over for. It's a good topic though. I like this.
It's tough. It's tough to say. Like petty is whatever. I've just got two stories that I could go with a third one, but whatever. So one of them was the day one of our cousins passed away, Ursula. I'm driving home from work, getting off of 29 on to 130, and it was a Robbinsville cop. So when you first get off 29 on the 130, that's Hamilton, and so you go from Hamilton into 29. He waited till we crossed into Robbinsville. I mean, you go from Hamilton into Robbinsville, and he said that when I got off the ramp, I cut off a tractor trailer, which was I saw it in my rearview mirror. But like I was living with Uncle at the time. Like we had this conversation so many times. I wasn't cutting off a tractor trailer. He was nowhere near me, yo. Like when I tell you so far back, 200, 300 yards, like he was a ways back. Like, and I'm where am I supposed to go? Getting off the off ramp, right? To get on to 130. What did you want me to do? So he pulls me over. He's you cut off that tractor trailer back there, and it took me till I got home because I was still like thinking about Ursula, right? And I let him know, yo, my cousin just passed away. I'm a little heavy footed today. Like I'm sorry, I didn't even realize. I was like, yo, you're a Robbinsville cop. That happened in Hamilton. Like you shouldn't even have pulled me over. Like that shouldn't even have happened. But he gave me a ticket for that. I don't remember exactly what he called it, but he gave me a ticket for that. And I don't know if it was before or after that. Mike, I was leaving your house once, same spot I was living. On 130, the main spot where you're coming off 33, right? So I was on 130, but the cop came off 33, made the left, hit the jug handle, came back around, waited at the light. I was like, okay, like he's coming to get me. I was still at the red light when he came around to stop at the red light. So I take off, right? Speed limit the whole time, literally put on the cruise control for whatever it is, whatever the speed is there. I was 5 below it. And he followed me for like 4.5, 5 miles, something like that, threw on his lights, and then was like looking for drugs. And it was pitch black at night. He was asking me if I had drugs in the car. There was, those little trees that drop the little flowers. Some of those were in my passenger seat, the little petals. And he was like, "What's this? What's this?" Reached in the car, pulled it out, looked at it. "What's this? You got something illegal? You got nah, yo." He let me go. Nothing happened. When I looked up, there were 3 other cruisers behind him.
Oh, they were ready.
3 other cruisers, but I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." I'm just driving home. The other crazy story happened on the PA Turnpike. I was driving home or driving to work when I was in college in my mom's Highlander. I was running late for work, so I'm speeding up the turnpike. Normally, not a big deal. Speed limit is 70 or whatever, right? Cop gets in front of me. He said I was tailgating him, right? So he pulled around, like told me to go in front of him, and then threw on his lights as soon as I got in front of him. "Yo, what's your rush? Where are you going? What were you doing? You were tailgating me." Listen, I'm late for work, man. Like that's it. He let me go. He was cool. Only black state trooper in PA I've ever seen in my life. He was mad cool.
I got pulled over by a Lawrenceville police officer. I see you said most petty. Now I'm just sitting here running through them all.
Oh, I
got a couple
more.
It was the day I had just got a car. I was so excited about getting this car. I went to go see grandma. It was the second car I ever had in my life. It was a new Mazda. It was a gold Mazda. I drove to go see my grandmother. I'm on my way home. My girlfriend at the time was behind me in her car. All right. He pulls me over in front of Mrs. G's on the opposite side of Route 1 heading back to Trenton. Mm-hmm. And he asked me for license, registration, insurance. Now, back in the day in Jersey, they would handwrite your insurance card, like a temporary insurance card, until the one came in the mail. The registration was also, not the registration, the temp tag in the back window is filled out by the dealership by hand that you get it from. You know what I mean? He pulls me over and was like, "Where'd you get the car from?" And I'm like, Cade Motors in Trenton, right there by, it's in the back of the back entrance to Halo Farm. He says, no, this car came up stolen. No, it didn't. Like, if it was stolen, you would have told me to get out the car. If it came up stolen, you'd have told me to get out. Like, the VIN number's up there. You can run the information. He was like, I'm telling you, it's stolen. I'll be right back. He walks back to the car. He sits in there for a while, comes back again. Now, at this point, my girlfriend at the time is walking towards it. Who are you? He's got his hand on his hip. Get back in your car. Get back in your vehicle. I'm like, hey, chill. It's like, it's my girlfriend. She wants to make sure everything is okay. Like, well, tell her to get back in her fucking car. Blah, blah, blah. He's like all hostile. Where'd you get the car from? I'm tired of asking. It's already come up stolen. We want to know where it's coming from. There's a lot of cars that are stolen coming out of Trenton. I said, if it's stolen, maybe, but I got it from Cade Motors. Like, they're right there. I'll never forget. Aunt L, oh shit, one of our aunts happened to call me at the time, and I told her what was going on. She was so damn, yo, this is how you know she got some dependent children. She played the role of lawyer on speakerphone. Ask him what jurisdiction he works for, get a badge number and his last name. He was like, you don't need any of that information. Like, no. She was like, he has the right to get that information. Like, she held me down. So he walked back to his car. He came back. Oh, you know what, man? They finished the checks. Everything checked out fine with the car. You can go ahead. Sorry for the misunderstanding. She was like, no, get his information. Officer Longo, badge number 109, Lawrenceville Police Department. Because he pulled me over on Route 1. He could have been a state trooper. Mm-hmm. She wanted me to specify. And her and our uncle were like, if you want to sue, let us know. We got you. Both of them told me. I'm so dumb. Now I'm dying for a chance to sue somebody. I was like, nah, it's cool. Like, but I should have took the opportunity. I had two people willing to front the funds because they were like, trust me, you're gonna get the money back. So it is what that was another super duper. I was pulled over for over 30 minutes with him trying to tell me to tell him I stole the car from somewhere or I got a stolen car from somebody. Like it was.
Bro, one question though. You know how sometimes someone makes it a little convincing that you start doubting your own stuff, that at any point you start thinking, dang, well, maybe I did steal the car.
No, I didn't think maybe I stole it, but I did think maybe it's a stolen car. It's a used car dealership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the car that I had at the time, it was a 96 Mazda. This happened in 2002, 2003, right? But he also had much newer vehicles on his lot. Maybe this was a stolen car that he just took from somebody as a trade-in, and you know, it came back hot. I said that. I was like, maybe it is stolen, but this is where I got it from. And I mentioned the handwriting on the tickets and everything because he tried to tell me how come the handwriting on the temp tag and the insurance card match. That's a hell of a coincidence because Marlene Dortch wrote it. Oh, I shouldn't have said her name, but that was my insurance agent. That was my insurance agent. I was like, she filled out the insurance card. I said, and John at Cade Motors filled out the temp tag. So I was like, their handwriting match. I've never looked at them. I never compared it. I don't care what it says back there. So if that's all checking out, then you know, cool. Take the car. But I didn't steal it. Sue them. Go arrest them. You can have the car. I don't care. Like I was so nonchalant. Like that's the one time he was pressing me. Like, and I'll never forget. I had on black sweatpants. I had on a black wife beater, and this is when I had low haircuts. So I had a black fitted on that was backward. I was all black driving my new car, and I just knew like I had done nothing wrong. I wasn't worried at all, but I did think for a second, G, maybe the car is stolen. Maybe it was stolen and turned in as a as a new as a trade-in. Maybe that did happen. I said it to him. Maybe it is stolen, but I ain't steal this shit. Like you can have this car. I don't give a. That's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? AKA, what about you, man? Most petty time or most petty thing you were pulled over for?
Pulled over for. Most petty thing I was pulled over for. I have only been pulled over 4 times in life.
You doing good.
All 4 must have been when we was recording, because I swear this girl was talking.
No, the last one I was living out here. And I got pulled over because supposedly I feel like it was around a holiday or something. There was lots of cars going, and supposedly the police officer could see that my inspection was expired or something like that, or whatever the thing is on the front of the car. Supposedly he could see it was expired. So he pulled me over and I got a ticket for that. It was expired, but I don't think he could see it. I think he just singled me out.
What I'll say about
I know they're like color coordinated.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, the color.
I think he could see the color, yeah, and was just looking for like an easy ticket. I'm pretty sure this was around Thanksgiving when we did I have my current car? No, it was my other car, not my SUV. Was it? I don't remember. I don't know.
Can
But
they
I
throw you?
was. I think it was when we first moved in, like a little bit. I think it was when we first moved into our house. Literally, like within the first couple weeks moving into our house. I think I was on my way home from Christmas shopping or something and pulled me over. Another time I got pulled over was in North Carolina for speeding. It was like late at night. I had to do the breathalyzer because when I rolled down the window, it smelled like alcohol in the car, but I wasn't the one that was drinking.
I was
Or
like
there we go.
barely
I wasn't the one that
conscious.
was drinking
I
that
was
heavily,
barely
right?
conscious.
But I was driving, so I got breathalyzed. I blew under the limit. He was super mad, and then gave me a ticket for speeding. It's like $300.
Dang.
It was ridiculous.
They hit you with the out of state shit, man. But
Yeah,
that's
because they
wild.
knew I wasn't gonna come back to court
Yeah.
Yep.
to
They know
contest
you're not
it.
gonna fight
So
it. They know you're not gonna appeal.
there was
Yeah.
that. Then another time I got pulled over. I was living in Morrisville. I could say that. Yeah, I was living in Morrisville. Um, was that? Yeah, or maybe I was living at home with my parents. I don't know. But we had gone to our uncle's house that I think was in Robbinsville. I don't really know where that was. And I had left. I ended up calling y'all to come because the police officer pulled me over. It was pouring rain. It was pitch black outside. Supposedly, I didn't make an illegal turn, but I wasn't really looking when I made a turn and I cut across like 3 or 4 lanes or something like that, and I almost drove an SUV off the road.
Dang.
I did not get a ticket for that, which I probably should have, but I did not have my driver's license on me. And I think that's why I ended up calling y'all, was because I didn't drive there. Someone else drove there and didn't want to leave when we had agreed to leave. So I was like, well, I'm leaving.
I don't
And
even
I
remember
left.
this.
And you was drunk all
I
the
don't even
time back
remember
then.
this.
Oh my
Um,
god.
there was that. And then the other time I got pulled over, I honestly don't even know what it was for. Like, I don't know if it was for maybe like, I think maybe one of my taillights was out. But the police officer felt so bad for me because, you know how they like touch your car?
Yeah.
Well, I had some obscenity scratched into the back hood of my car, like my trunk at the time. And he asked me about it, and I burst out into tears because I forgot it was there, and it was so embarrassing. And I think he felt bad for me and just was like, just watch your speed limit and get your taillight fixed or something like that.
So did you play the tears to get out of the ticket, or you would
No, I genuinely forgot. I forgot, and I was embarrassed.
I'm about to say, that was
So
real. Yeah.
I started bawling.
Yo.
Yeah.
I've got more funny interactions, like
I
pulled
think
over
those were the only
legitimately.
times I got pulled over.
I was about to say pulled over legitimately, but they've led to very funny interactions with cops. That usually, that's the thing. If you get a cop laughing or just like, you could get out a ticket.
I don't even think you can say legitimately. I feel like if you ever were to call me and be like, "Hey, I got pulled over and they're taking me in," I'd be like, "I believe it."
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. It's legitimate pullovers. That's what I'm saying.
And that's what I'm saying. There's no other option for you.
Y'all ever been pulled over and
Such
been
thing
happy to
with
get it?
you as an illegitimate pullover.
Nah, I've been pulled over on
The
some
cop
BS.
is never wrong.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Not with you. With a
I-
lot of black men, they are.
I got
With
pulled
you,
over once because I pulled into a church driveway.
God.
The cop
Literally.
was wrong.
I got pulled over because I was in the
said
left
literally.
lane, pulled over to the right lane too fast, and then pulled over to get gas. He's like, "Yeah, you darted to cross traffic." I was like, "I moved over, and then I moved over to get off to get gas, and no ticket on my
They make it
on my way
up.
to work."
Oh no, I did get pulled over one time in okay, I guess this was petty. I got pulled over one time. It was in Trenton. You know, on
I've never been pulled
Olden.
over in Trenton. That's crazy. I can't wait to
It
hear
was
this.
in Trenton
I
on
don't
my
think
way
I've
to
ever
So
been pulled over in Trenton
you
either.
know on Olden where the patio furniture store was, right?
Yep.
So it was that light, and I was
Olden
headed
and Trenton
like
Ave.
I was headed towards Ewing. not towards Trenton. I was headed towards Ewing. But you know how there's like that second short light, right? So I pulled through the light at the patio furniture spot, and then stopped at the short light. And then as soon as the light turned green, the cop behind me pulled me over. And he was like, "Oh, I pulled you over because you ran that light back there." And I'm like, "The light we were both just stopped at?" And he's like, "No, the one before that." I'm like, "The one that was yellow when I went through, but it was red when you went through." And then I stopped at the red light right next to it. And he was like, "Yeah, let me run your stuff." And then he never ended up giving me a ticket. You could tell it was like a new guy who was just trying to like get a pullover or a ticket under his belt or something. And I'm like, "You're not finna get me."
Right.
No, sir. I
Have
forgot about
y'all
that.
have y'all ever been pulled over and be happy to get the ticket that you got? Like they
Yep.
they didn't do more, they didn't search the car or anything like that?
Well, no, actually, I didn't get a ticket the one time that I'm thinking of. I didn't get.
Happy to not get the ticket.
I got pulled over. There's been two times. There's been two times actually. I got pulled over once. East Windsor is where I was. Cop pulled me over. I saw him when I was over 100. I was doing like 102, 103. I hit the brakes immediately. He said he clocked me at like 80 something. It's only like a 55 or whatever. So when he said literally right out of my mouth, he was, "Yo, I clocked you going 80, whatever it was." I was like, "That's it?" Like that's literally what left my mouth. That's it. He didn't give me a ticket.
It's never a time that I, was happy I got the ticket. There was times where I went to court to fight the ticket that I was able to plead to lesser something and, pay more in the ticket, but no points. I actually passed
That's the unsafe operation of motor vehicle ticket they hand out. It's $180, including court fees.
Yep.
And
I
there's no
passed
points on it.
I passed the cop in the safety corridor, which I didn't even know what the heck that was. I was on my on Route 1 heading back to Trenton. Just picked up my breakfast, going to work. I'm in the left lane. He's in the left lane. My exit to get off is on the right. I get over. The way I drive, if I know my exit is coming up, I'm getting over sooner. I don't get over at the last minute. I get over, and I'm still driving my speed limit. Eventually, I passed him, pulled me over, mentioned something about passing in the speeding corridor. I mean, safety corridor. I was like, all right, man, whatever. Go to court, talk to the prosecutor. He even said the same thing. I'm like, y'all be getting us on stuff we don't even know about. This was never gone over in the book. So I was like, whatever. He's all right, plead guilty to this. And all you had to do is pay the $200-something ticket and no points. I was like, say no more.
Right. Yeah, we'd be happy to get no points. I got pulled over out here in Mooresville one time, and I had about 8 or 9 guns in the back of the car. The person that was in my passenger seat had weed, which is not legal in Pennsylvania. And I knew I was going to get pulled over. It was a cop sitting in the middle of the road.
Yep, right over by Friendly's.
Yeah, and he was just waiting to see if anybody drove by with an expired inspection color, like what AKA was talking about earlier. And I'm a Jersey boy. I am not, to this day, I'm still not used to getting my vehicle inspected every year. That is some bullshit.
It don't make no sense.
You got to
It don't
pay
make
for
no
it.
sense.
It's annoying.
Right.
And you have to pay for it. Every year you gotta pay for it.
Come on, man. That's some nonsense. So
It's treason.
I be letting my shit just go sometimes. And we were on our way to the gun range. That's why I had so many guns in the car. Let me be clear. I don't want to act like I'm not some tough guy or nothing like that. I was on my way to the gun range with my coworker, but she's from
With
Jersey.
9 guns? 2 of you with 9 guns.
They were all mine. Yeah.
Any options?
Skills excessive, but okay.
Any options?
He pulled me over and was like, "Where you headed?" Walmart. Walmart. I was. I'm not even going to insinuate. And she smoked all the time. So when we got pulled over, she opened her purse. The smell of weed came out even more. She started spraying all this perfume and shit all. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to go to jail. I'm about to go to jail. Because I'm thinking Jersey laws. Jersey laws way different with the guns and ammo and storage and all that stuff. And I had them all in the case and everything, but I was driving an SUV. I don't want you to look through the window of my trunk and see the long gun case. No.
Right.
Inspection. Yeah, man, I'm from Jersey, bro. I forgot all about that. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, you want some help? it's spelled Michael. Like, please don't ask me no more questions. Give me that ticket. I was so happy to get out of there with just that inspection ticket, man. I didn't even go to court to fight it. Like, you have the option of, if we get inspected in the next 24 hours, they might throw it. Nope. I paid that bad boy, and I kept
it was
that
me.
ticket.
I did it.
Oh, I
Yep.
remember the other petty time I was pulled over in Lawrenceville, driving I was driving my car. Brake light was out. Lawrenceville pulled me over. I was like, you know what? Whatever. That's super stupid. That's petty. You know what? I got it fixed, and I'm gonna go to court. So I show up to court. Tell them plead. And it's funny because when you go to court and you plead not guilty, you're the last one to be seen.
You sure are.
All the guilty people go. You sitting there just like. So I finally get to me. I was like, hey, look, I got pulled over for a brake light. My brake light works. So they had like the little what's the what they call them? The people that don't get intern. Had the intern follow me out to the parking lot. I had to start the car, step on the brake light. He verified that it was working. We went back into the court.
Checking?
Yeah. He sent the intern out there to check.
I've seen that before.
I go back in the court. The intern gave him the heads up, like, yeah, it's working. He's like, all right, court costs, and I was on my way.
So you
the same thing.
$35.
I've had so many expired registration. I've had like 2 or 3 expired
Don't they tow
registrations.
you? Aren't they supposed to tow your car with registration?
That's what I was
No,
going to say. I've been lucky. Hillsborough, they will get you for
It's not
expired registration,
registration.
and they'll let you know. What is it?
It's insurance they tow for.
No,
because if you hit,
registration. I've never had expired insurance and been pulled over. I've had expired registration, and they let me know every time we're supposed to tow you on the spot.
no, they could tow for it. They don't. It's not required. If you don't have any insurance,
they've told me they're supposed to tow you on the spot.
That happened to my boy. He got towed on the spot. He was driving somebody else's car with expired registration. They was like, look, you can stay here, but we got to take the car.
I've been pulled over without all 3 license, registration, and insurance. But my thing is, I was bad. I don't have no problem admitting it now. Like my record super clean now. But with the insurance thing, if you hit somebody or somebody hits you, there's no financial security for the other parties involved. So the insurance, they can't let you move anymore. That vehicle stays there and gets towed. Registration could be elapsed, but the vehicle could still be insured. They can let you go for that. Now, they do have the right to tow it if they want to be dickheads, but they don't have to tow it for registration.
And I was about to say, maybe that's why they've never told me. But they've always let me know we're supposed to tow this. We're supposed to tow this on the spot. I've always been like around the corner from the apartment where I was staying in Hillsborough and all that. The other one where I was grateful, right? Didn't get a ticket. Was leaving JP's place, a guy's night we had out there when he was living in Irvington. You remember that?
Oh God.
Yeah. Was leaving there, heading back to my spot in Hillsborough. I don't even know what highway it was. Zoom past the cop, no idea. I didn't see him at all. Pulled me over. He was like, "Yo, you were going really fast. Is everything okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." I didn't. He was like, "Did you not see me there?" I was like, "No, didn't see you at all." He was like, "Well, what?" He was like, "Well, I smell a little bit of alcohol. You've been drinking tonight?" I was like, "Yes, I have. I had a few beers earlier. It's been a few hours. Like it was a few hours before I finished the last one and came." He was like, "I smell it real strong. I should breathalyze you right now." He was like, "But I retire in a few weeks." He told me I don't know if he said 2 or 3 weeks. He was like, "Retiring in a few weeks.
I'm not meeting you at
My
court."
wife and kids are waiting for me down in South Carolina." He was like, "I don't want to do this paperwork and have to do it." He was like, "Yo, drive safe, be a little bit more aware."
Boy, you got lucky.
He was, and I was, I had real drinks, 2 or 3 real drinks that night, and downed a whole 6-pack by myself.
Now, have you ever
several hours? It'd have been like 20 minutes between me finishing that last beer and getting on the road, if even.
You ever shaking the cop's hand for letting you off? I did.
I think I might have shook that dude's hand.
That feels disrespectful.
I already told a little bit of it. Last time I got pulled over was New Year's Eve 2021. I was going to pick up my conquito from my daughter-in-law at her job. She works at an animal place.
Conquito.
It's basically Hispanic version of
Coquito.
Oh, that's coquito. There's no in.
There's no in.
Coquito. What? However, I mispronounced it. Coquito.
I thought you was getting a dog or something, nigga. I was trying to make sure I knew what you was talking about.
So I'm leaving here. I'm on 130 going, what is that, south? No, north. So I make a illegal U-turn. It even says no U-turn. You know the little space that they leave in the median for fire trucks to get in, turn. I bust that UE.
You did not.
Right in front of the firehouse. I bust that UE. Soon as I make the UE, bro, I see Robbinsville. I'm like, oh my God, he probably gonna come get me. Sure enough, he hit that U-turn, lit me up. I was like, you know what? I'm not that far from Hamilton. Should I try to run it or should I just go to where I'm
Bro,
going?
I have
Nah,
never
What?
once considered running.
you should have
Wow.
gassed it. You should have
I
gassed it.
really considered
You
gunning
should
it.
have gassed it.
I really was like, you know what? F it. Just go to your location. And I pulled up to the place and he pulls up behind me. He's like, were you trying to run from it? I'm like, no, I saw you, but this is where I was coming anyway. He's like, oh, do you have are you picking up a sick animal or whatever? I'm like, yes. They waiting on me right now. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna run your stuff, and if everything come back clean, I'm gonna let you go. Bro, I was like, that's easy. I leaned back. He came back. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna just let you off with a warning. I rolled down the window. This was like the year. This is still, pre-pandemic. I said, look, I know we're not allowed to shake hands, but I was like, man, thank you.
That's like the time I got the field sobriety test, and he was like, "Follow my finger," and I went with my whole head. And he was like, "No," he was like, "Just with your eyes." I was like, "Well, you didn't say that. I was. You just said follow your finger."
Oh my God.
I got off that time too. I did shake his hand after that.
They should,
Y'all are wild.
I never shook a cop's hand. The times they let me off, I was mad at them. Like I said, trying to tell me I stole the car. You want me to confess to a crime I didn't commit? Like, nah, I was mad. I was mad.
Man. There's times where they can make your life hell. I was like, officer, thank you, because it clearly said no U-turn, and what I do, I was
Now,
not drive all the way down to the next light where the Wawa is that they just built, and come back around.
I've had the cops come to the house before, and I shook their hand. I had animal control in Plainsboro come to the house. This lady was trying to take my puppies, and she was crazy, and I was going off on her. I've never wanted to hit a woman more in my entire life than in that moment. I didn't do it because she was an agent for the city, but it was documented that she was over like excessive and compulsive, and she's off. She's not all there. Like just legal enough to drive and work, but she fixates. You know what I mean? Like she does stuff like that. Like, and she ended up getting my litter of puppies. She lured them off the property with food and shit. But she ended up getting them. But that night, the cops ended up apologizing to me. And when he said that I didn't do anything wrong and my dogs weren't malnourished or mistreated or anything like that, and y'all know how big the property is out there, he was like, y'all don't need fences. She's trying to say you need to get a fence put up. Like, no, you don't. These dogs won't find anyone else's property for damn near half a mile. Like, you're fine.
Yep.
The cops were all, I was like, yeah, now get this crazy bitch off my property. And I'll never forget, it was one of those church services going, well, not church, but one of the services that they do at people's house, maybe club meeting or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the cops all out there. I'm interrupting their service. They all looking out the window, and I'm outside going off. I'm talking, I know grandma wanted to splash me with holy water or something that night. Like, I was going crazy out there, bro. Like, I had never been so mad before in my life. And the cops, I did dap him up that night. It wasn't about me getting a ticket, but he was just like, yeah, nah, she's tripping. Like, she does this sometimes. He was like, and I'm just going to give you a heads up. Like, she going to be back. I got her back, though. She got my puppies, but I made her pay for it.
Really?
We got her back.
I don't know this part of the story.
Oh, yes, you do.
I didn't know.
I knew where she lived.
Oh,
she lived in a complex. Yeah. She lived in this complex that my boy James lived in. And we went out there, and it was like two nights later after she took my puppies. So what happened was,
base of the
wait,
gutter?
You're saying he lived there? This is the one he worked into?
No, he didn't work out there. He lived out there. This is back when he was living with his mom and early, like, little shortly after high school. She ended up coming back a couple days later, and she actually confiscated my puppies. So I called to get my dogs back, but she sent them to a vet, And the vet was like, oh, well, we ran X, Y, and Z tests. We gave him these shots because we didn't know if you had them, so you got to pay the bill. I'm like, bitch, I didn't ask y'all to do none of that shit. My dogs are fine. I don't have that kind of money. They were like, well, we have to keep them then, and we'll put them up for adoption or whatever. So I lost my whole litter of puppies that I had planned on selling, you know. So long story short, I went to my boy's house. She lived 2 lots over. Me and Quick went out there. You ever see the big concrete drains that come off of the buildings? Like, you know, you got the gutter that comes down and the long ass concrete drain that runs the water away from the building.
Yep.
Pick that shit up, put it right through her back window.
You did tell me this. You did tell me
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Now my fingerprints weren't on anything, but she
Was I
did.
there?
Quick was.
Mike, I might have
Quick
been there for that.
Quick was the one that threw it.
That's what I know. I might have been there.
We ran back to my boy's spot with his mom, but I don't remember. I don't remember. I was mad though. I don't remember. I was mad. You might have been there. You might have been there because we went over with the intentions. Because he called us and was like, "Yo,
I feel like I remember y'all saying, "Yo, let's go do this."
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't fully understand.
The vehicle. Yeah. Look at AKA. She's like, I can't believe I'm on here with you heathens. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I would like to employ you. If you can give me a business card and some estimates, I would like to help your business. You know, help me help you, type thing. So let's talk business.
This is in January.
That's when her birthday is. It don't have to be then. Like I don't.
January is a slow month for me, but sometimes I be booked and busy. So,
Well,
book
let
me
me
now.
book you so you could be busy.
I should say, book me now.
Yeah, let's talk shop after we get off of here. Well, not tonight, but you know, message me, let me know what thoughts are. I'll let you know what I'm thinking. But I want to find the venue first. I would like to get like a photo.
Post in that group on Facebook. Black owned New Jersey.
I don't.
Oh wait, you're in PA, aren't you?
Tag me in something, and
I mean, it doesn't matter, but
I'm about to say I joined that right before I moved to PA.
I joined it when I lived in PA.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about leaving the group though. Anyway.
I would understand why, but it's all good, man. Guys, thank y'all for rocking with us so long, man. All the viewers out there, all the watchers, listeners, and everything. Make sure you guys go out there and tell them about some crazy people talking crazy stuff. This was our introductory podcast. We're going to introduce ourselves this way. Hopefully you guys get to come back and enjoy some more shows. I promise you guys, they won't all be like this. We'll actually have topics. We'll actually have music to review and things like that, things that are important to you. Not just us reminiscing and going down memory lane, but we wanted you guys to get to know a little bit about ourselves. So hopefully you all enjoyed this. To the cast, to the crew, Duck, G, and AKA, thank y'all for chiming in. Thank y'all for joining. I sincerely appreciate you guys. Any final words for the audience? Anything you want to leave them with about yourself? Let's start with AKA. This is when we're going to do our solo screens here. So AKA, you get to
our
go
solo
first.
screens. I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all. but it's nice. It's nice to be in the number tonight.
All right. She went back to church on that one. Nice to be in the number. All right, Duck. You up next, man. What you got for us, bro?
Y'all just stay safe out there. The dude in Texas is still at large. It's been like a 2-day thing.
Wait, what?
I saw the dude that killed his neighbors. So y'all be safe. That's what I'm saying.
What the fuck?
Why do you assume that our viewers are in Texas?
I'm not. I'm just saying be safe. Because I also saw,
Let's skip him.
I told y'all there was a car accident, and the car literally went over the guardrail. They were setting up to fish over the guardrail and pull the car back up. Took out a tree on its way. So y'all be safe. Speeding on them highway.
When you didn't say that to us.
You didn't say nothing about that.
In the group, I text y'all that there was a car accident on my way. That's car accident.
You said.
No.
That car accident actually happened before I left to take my daughter before, and then it was 3 hours later. They were still doing the cleanup, but the car jumped the guardrail off the side of the highway.
Why am I here? I need to go to bed.
The final thought is stay safe. All that you do.
Then say that. Then say that.
You got to set up with reasons. You just said, "I see y'all when I see y'all."
You don't need a reason. You don't need a reason for people
when
to
the
stay
Saints
safe.
go marching in.
My man went with 2 current events to end the show with that we're not going to discuss. That's crazy. I don't even know what's going on. Now I got to Google Texas shooting.
Right. My final thought is, me and my wife, we finally got to watching Snowfall. It's good. We're on season 3. I don't even think we've been watching. Yeah, about a week now. We're on season 3. I'm glad it's
Not
not
a
one
final
of those.
thought. These are conversations. These are podcast topics that y'all are bringing
All
up at
right,
the end.
that's my
These are
final thought.
not final
That's my
thoughts.
Hey, look, that's my final thought. I'm very random with mine. Anyway, I'm glad these seasons aren't very long. Doesn't have 24 episodes. Straight 10. That's it. Good watch.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Bye. He didn't even say bye. He didn't even say bye.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to tell y'all what shows I'm watching on my final thoughts. I want to thank everybody for checking this out again. And my final thoughts are going to be simple, man. Be patient out there with whatever it is that you're doing. And if one of your teams happen to be in the running for the NBA Finals, I'm cheering for them. You know, over there. I'm a Hornets fan. I don't even know what playoffs are. But I am cheering for the underdogs in every series. Go Philadelphia. They got the dub. I like that. I like seeing that. And I was happy to see the Warriors. But I thought I was a little spent on Warriors. I'm doing the same things. They was like, oh, shit.
See, look, talking junk.
Y'all know I don't watch a lot of
15 seconds
basketball.
ago.
I watched the Warriors game while I worked out yesterday.
Well, the only reason I mentioned it is because I thought I had Warriors fatigue, right? Like, I'm tired of seeing them. Like, I'm okay if they're not in there. But I found myself pulling for them in that last game 7.
Nah,
But
going for Sacramento.
But I will say this: my final thoughts. Whatever your team is, cheer for them hard, and enjoy the moment that they're in, win or lose. At least they got there. All right.
So are you going to choose? We play the Warriors next round. So are you going to root for the Lakers?
What seed are y'all?
We are the 7th seed.
Oh, y'all don't stand a chance. So yeah, I'll root for y'all.
You know what?
No.
Since we're all bringing up podcast topics, let me say this thing, and then as my final thought. Now, since we're all doing it, since y'all all did it, y'all all
You
did it.
shouldn't have started with her because she hadn't been on any of the previous intro
That's true.
recordings.
That's
Yeah.
So we're talking about the topic from earlier. It was basically like women and their money, right? That's what that man was talking about. So I'm in this period of my life where I am fully living like a YOLO lifestyle. So I feel that we could make that a recurring question on the show, that you ask me what my current YOLO moment is. And I've had plenty already from this year. So
it's only
till next time.
All right, that's cool. I'm looking for some.
I've got a big one coming up. Like a big one coming up. But I'm gonna wait.
A little teaser for the next episode. I am gonna ask y'all, and I want y'all to put some thought into this one. Would y'all swing? Don't answer now. Don't make any faces. Just
swing what? A bat?
With a couple? That you said don't answer now. I'm not gonna answer for her, but
with a couple?
Yeah,
I need to know the context of
yes.
Because you said because I went to the park the other day with my daughter and we were swinging.
Okay.
So you need. I'm a mother.
No,
we need context.
Legally, I have to tell everybody watching. She doesn't mean the way that I meant.
I said a park.
Yes,
like a park swing. Let me see your hips swing.
I meant as relationships. That's it. I don't make.
Hold on, you never.
I never what?
You never followed. We never did the follow-up question.
You have to do. So when you ask the question next week, you got to play the Kevin Hart clip. You got to play the Kevin Hart and the guy. Who's the funny guy?
Help me. Is that what you're talking about?
Huh?
No.
Help me.
No. I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna have my husband send it to you, and you got to play the clip.
You talking about Nick Cannon? Who's you talking about?
No, Kevin Hart. You know the guy who talks about all the crazy, this black guy on a podcast talks about all the crazy stuff him and his wife do, and he had Kevin Hart on the podcast and he told Kevin Hart that him and his wife used to go to these naked parties in Texas.
I have no idea what she's talking about.
Up naked parties.
Michael Blackson? Who's she talking about?
Nah, I don't know.
I can't wait to see this clip. But I didn't mention the final question from the previous one because this is going to be technically.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure you didn't forget. So, all right.
Yeah. No. I go back and watch them again. I have them all downloaded, and we're gonna do the same thing. Y'all stay with us, man. This is gonna be a fun one. We're gonna launch, and we're gonna be a weekly show. I like that we're building up a little bit of a pocket now. I think we have a couple here. Give me one more pre-recording, and then we can start going live and everything, and we'll get everything rocked and locked out. So stay with us, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We will be up and running before the finals. That's my goal for everybody. So we'll see what happens, man. Y'all stay safe out there.
When are those? How many weeks away are those?
That's in June.
June sometime.
Like early June. It's normally
early.
over about the second week in June, usually.
Y'all be asking a lot of me, but I'm gonna do my best. What they say, Lord willing.
She is taking us all the way to church all night. All right. So we got to go. I haven't heard her talk this much or make this many church references ever. So, and I'm enjoying it. I'm appreciating it. We're going to get out of here. We want to thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we out of here, y'all. Peace.